Hello ladies and gentlemen, and good evening and welcome to tonight's live stream. I have a bunch of people with me on Discord, and tonight we will be mining in the name of science. I have a theory, I want to test it, and instead of me going and spending like a month mining, collecting enough data, I crowdsourced the problems, and I have a whole host of people with me today that's going to help me collect some data. I'm gonna get those guys online as well, so I'll explain it to them while I explain it to you guys as well. Good evening and hello everybody, you are now live as well. Okay, so we are currently, or you all should be at least, in the G181-6 system. And in this system, if you go to planet A1, you will see the outer ring has an area where there are actually three white opal hotspots right next to each other, but at least two of them are overlapping. And the theory I want to test tonight is, does it make a difference if you are in a overlapping hotspot, or does it make no difference at all? Whether you're just in a single or in a double. And also if you're outside the hotspots. I want to see how big of an effect a hotspot actually has. So, what we'll be doing is we'll be heading into the hotspot. We'll be dividing us into teams. Some will be going into the area outside hotspots. Some will be going into the part of the hotspot that's only part of the ring that's only covered by one hotspot, and some will be going into the area covered by two hotspots. And the main idea is we're going to collect data. We are mostly interested in when you find an asteroid that has an explodable core inside it. If it has void opals in the core, then that's a positive. And if it doesn't have a void opal, if it has something else in the core, or still have core deposits, but it's something else, then it's a negative. So only void opals is positive, all other core deposits is a negative. And you're allowed, when you do it, you can either go and mine the rocks as you find them, if you want to collect the money, if you want to make a little bit of credit while you do this. You're also more than welcome to just go ahead and just move on. If you feel like you have enough credits, you can just scan it and then move on to the next rock. The way we'll be doing this is, if you all go to Discord into voice chat, I'll be posting a link for a spreadsheet here, which I'll just be pulling up here on stream as well. Can I zoom in this? Oh, yes I can. It's just a little laggy. Here we go. So, just get people on stream as well so they can see. So here we have, it's very, very simple. What I would do now is I would go in here and I would say, I would write my commander name. Oops. I'll write my commander name. And then I would say what type of location I'm going into. In my case, I would probably take the area outside of any hotspot. So that would be a 0, because I'm covered by 0 hotspots. If I were in an area with one hotspot, I would write a 1. And if I were in a double area, I would write a 2. So in my case, I would be writing down a 0. We can all do that so we can see kind of how even a spread we're gonna have of people in the different areas. And then as you mine, you can either record it directly in the spreadsheet as you go on your own row, or you can go ahead and write it down. That's what I'll be doing. I'll be writing this down on a piece of paper as I go, so I don't have to tap in and out. And then I will fill it out as I go along. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
Great. Yep. I hope you brought limpets. Otherwise, there is a station system that can supply them. And oh, we got a little bit of hot miking here. Let's see. Yellow belly.
Hello.
Okay, there was something with your microphone. It sounded like you were rubbing against something. Oops. Okay. I'll just try to collect as much data as we can as we go, and then we'll see what kind of result we got at the end. So I'll just be dropping into like a random spot here in the ring outside of the hotspots, because I said I was doing 0 here. Now this whole idea kind of built on, built on the idea with the double painite hotspots, which people have been using to mine painite extremely quickly. It is very profitable, but if we can get the same, I mean, I don't think we get more cores by going into a double, but I think we have a higher chance of getting the void opals that we're looking for. Okay. Just gonna wait and see if any pirates show up here before we begin to move. Oh, there we go. Bound Stickman and Judge's Asylum. Yes, open. No, not open. Not Opal Cutter, it's Opal Clipper today. Okay, he's mining, so he's probably harmless. Okay. Looks like that was the only one. I'm currently in a private group. What are we looking for? Pulse wave scanners, here we go. Well, that didn't return anything. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I don't think that's it. Doesn't look right. It's not enough popcorn. Okay, I'm just gonna quickly tap in to see how we are in terms of spread for people here. We have 2 and 0s, 2 and 1s, and 2 and 2s. That's perfect. Good, good. Looks like people are spreading out nicely. Oh, someone was very low. Who was that? Get you turned up a bit.
That's me.
Quinch burn. Okay. Boost you a little bit. There we go. You know what? I'm actually gonna turn the game audio down a little bit. Oh. Oh, that one looks promising. Set Master, hello and welcome. Ah, killed my own prospector. Hey, I got a core, but it's a bromelite, so I'm gonna mark that in as a negative.
I got a core, but it's low temperature diamond.
Yeah, you can mine it as well if you want to.
Oh, I do.
Oh, that one up there. I'm not sure if this is one. Nope. This doesn't look right either. It's too elongated, I think. Or is it? I always get in doubt with these rocks. No, it doesn't look right. No. Dude, this one has the right shape. But I'm not sure if it's bright enough. It doesn't look brighter. Yeah?
Why don't you check it with the night vision?
I will see if I can see the fissures on it.
Yeah.
I can't. So that's probably nothing. Just to be sure. Nope. There's nothing. Where did the planet go? There it is. Oh, something over there. Oh. Oops. Imperial ships and they're drifting. Nah.
There's one.
You got one? Yeah. Oh, something there looks very bright.
This kind of looks like all three portal hotspots are on top of each other.
Yeah, but I can see the fishes on this one, so this one's good. I know it looks like it, but they're not actually overlapping. The one furthest out in the ring is very small. Alexandrite. That's a negative.
Yeah, but the small one overlaps the middle one, which overlaps the inner.
Yeah. They all overlap. The middle ones overlap twice, but I don't think there's any area that's overlapped by both of them.
Yeah, I'm just worried about trying to get a single.
Or just take the inner one. That's a pretty large area in the inner one that's not covered by anything. Jeffrey, hello and welcome. Yeah, there was a point when I was getting really good at spotting these at a very long range, but the amount of time I've been mining lately has been very limited, so getting a little rusty here. Jeffrey asked, what is my take on the protest against hacking? Well, for those of you who don't know, just to get everybody up to speed, there was a guy, Nick, I think he's called. Oh, thanks a lot for all the follows on Twitch. Ah, and that's a rock. There was a guy who did a protest against people hacking, or I guess it was more the fact that there was very little done against people hacking, or I actually not 100% sure exactly what it was he was protesting against, but at least what he was doing was he got a beluga and parked it in the mail slot in Shinrata in open, and had a hack program basically make his ships invulnerable even to station fire. And of course nobody could take that thing down, and it ended up with him just jumping out inside the mass lock zone without any charge up or anything like that. Now obviously hacking in Elite or hacking in any game for that matter is not something I condone at all. I don't see why people do it. For me, that would completely ruin the gameplay. I mean, what's the point of spending time engineering all your ships if you could just hack your way to it? So, I don't think I don't think it belongs in any game, for that matter. But on that specific case, I can see why he did it. And I'm pretty sure that he knew when he did it that he was gonna get his account banned. I don't know if he was hoping that it wouldn't get that much attention. That was odd. I thought that would happen. Well, I don't know if he thought it wouldn't get as much attention as it did. I'm pretty sure he didn't thought it would get as much attention as it did. But yeah, I don't know. On one hand, I'm glad that it helped put even more focus on it, and because of that, it's now beginning to be picked up by media outside of the Elite Dangerous community, which I think is good that there's more focus on it. Yeah, I think you're right, Jeffrey. I'm just not 100% sure. I also think the point was that it was against Frontier and the lack of response to all the hackers in Elite. I think that was the point. Hold on, what am I looking for here? Not paying attention to my mining, just aimlessly flying around here. But overall, I think, I mean, it helped really put some more focus on it, and it helped spread this out outside of the Elite Dangerous community. Generally, like, don't like to try and force people's hands as the way he kind of did with Frontier, but I'm really glad that it did help put some more focus on it. It does make sense that I mean, it's a little difficult to explain. I mean, on one hand, I like what he did because of the consequences of what came out of it. On the other hand, the method he used to raise that awareness, I don't know. Was hope it could have been done differently, if that makes sense. But I can also see the argument that, I mean, the logical argument to that is that, well, regardless of how much the community would be screaming on the forums and we would be making YouTube videos and stuff, if Frontier didn't listen, then that might be the natural next conclusion to do something like that. Nope. Oh. That one looks promising. Or does it? Yeah, oh, I can see a fissure here. Right there. This one. Alexandrite, so that is not void opals. I know Alexandrite is still really, really valuable, but because of what we're trying to do today, I'm just gonna leave it. Did I forgot to target the planet? Stop that. No, that's actually quite clever. I thought about that. Recycle says, ask if this is a virgin system, otherwise the traffic could already... But the point is, we are all doing it in the same ring at the same time. So even if there was a reduced number of cores because of prior activity, because we're all doing it at the same time, it shouldn't have an effect. We should all get the same reduced number of cores. Or at least that effect should be the same across the whole ring. So I think we're okay on that worry, because exactly we're doing it at the same time. See, that one has fragments on it on the surface as well. That is not a void opal. This ship is very engineered. Oh, something very bright down there. Oh yeah, look at that thing. Okay. I think I think we got one here. Let's see. Yeah. And no. Not a void opal. So, you guys in the double hotspots, how are you doing so far? In terms of void opals to non-void opals?
Not a single void opal.
Not a single one?
Surprisingly worse whatsoever. Only one non-void opal.
You got one non-void opal and the rest have been void opals?
No, absolutely no void opals, only one non-void opal.
Oh.
What is the reserve in this system?
You
One
don't
low
know.
temp diamond and one Alexandrite so far.
Nice low reserves.
It might be because I've been mining this ring dry. I've been mining this ring a lot lately. Not lately, but I when I found it, I spent like a few days just mining away and make like 600 million from it. Then I move on. It should have respawned by now. Unless someone else has been mining here, of course. Which is a possibility because of the double void opal hotspots. Something down here. Oh, that one there, maybe. Ah, maybe not. No. Oh, yes. It was actually one. Nice. But it's not void opals. See, this one has the black lines, but it's not the right shape. Right? Just for good measures, we're gonna prospect it, but I don't think that's it. There's one all the way over there, I think looks promising. I think regarding system reserves, I think There's Alexandrite. It's not void opals. I think the most people agree that the system reserve has nothing to do with the cores, with the core deposits. It's only non-cores it has an effect on, which makes sense if you think about it, because we know that core deposits are generated separately from everything else. It says new to the game. What does 07? Oops, that's this rock. Mean it's like a face with a guy saluting. Yeah, exactly. Why does it send to salute? That makes no sense.
Well, I found first void opal.
And what area are you in?
I'm at 1-1 in overlapping hotspots.
Okay. Okay, here we go. Let's look at that one over there. This thing is a little dangerous to fly in here. One, because it's moving so quickly and doesn't turn very well. This one is good. And it's Alexandrite. Oh, it's not void opals. Ah. Oh, something with a green shimmer up there. This one is weird. Oh, that's not it. Nope. This one has all the black lines. People say, oh, that's a dead giveaway, but I don't think this one has one. It's the wrong shape. Just to... make sure we're gonna prospect it. That one there, on the other hand... I'm looking for the fissures here. Oh yeah, there they are.
So how many people have we got, like, in between, like, overlapping hotspots, and how many people have we got in just one hotspot? So...
let me just check the spreadsheet here. According to the spreadsheet, we have 3 people in zeros, we have 4 people in ones, and 3 people in twos. So we have a pretty good spread.
Okay.
So if you're just joining now, you are free to pretty much jump in. We lost Critchburn. There we go. You're back. Sorry.
Nice.
AK Tricks to say, hey mister, your videos are awesome and really help. You are very welcome. Glad you find them useful, and thanks for the follow as well. Okay, finally, I found some white opals. Oh, I forgot it's on the other side. Ha. Oh, you know what? I should move myself over to the other side here so you guys can see the detonation thingy magic. What is this? High, so we can put a high charge in that. Oh. Probably don't want a high here. Probably want like a medium. Almost. Ugh. There we go. See if we can get a good angle in here. Able to see some of those surface deposits. Thanks a lot for the follow on Twitch. I already have my collector Olympus dying on me. I have a rock somewhere that's stuck inside and left them thinking because the limpets are dying all the time. Best ship for mining, I personally prefer the Clipper. I think it's an absolute beauty for this kind of stuff. The Python is good as well. I just like the extra speed on the Clipper. Thanks a lot for the follow on Twitch. Why am I still void opal mining when Paynite is so profitable? Because we're testing something with the hotspot today. It's gonna see if what kind of effect overlapping hotspot has on the core deposits that we get. That's why we are running up a spreadsheet here. Cringebird not having the best night I can see. Shit out of luck tonight.
And Paynite doesn't make that awesome sound.
And when it blows up. Okay, well, let's just get back here to shooting up fragments. Yeah.
The issue with playing this game is
Core hunting at type 10, that would be interesting. What is this limpet doing out here? No, it's it's a prospector from a previous rock. Got it. Okay. Oh, hi, hello and welcome. Oh, Aaron, sorry. Ah, there we go. Oh, look at that. And we got not a void opal. No. What do we have? That one doesn't look... People just joined over on Twitch asking what the hypothesis is. We're checking if there's a difference between mining outside in terms of how many void opals you get. If you mine outside a ring, sorry, not outside a ring, outside a hotspot, inside a single hotspot, or inside a overlapping hotspot. So we have a bunch of people here running around different areas, prospecting rocks, and trying to keep track of all this. I think, yeah. And it's Alexandrite. It's 10th rock tonight that isn't contained. Yeah, we always need more people. If you want to, if people want to join, there should be a link for Discord below the stream. If you join over there, I will. If you join the voice channel called "Want to Join Stream," then we'll drag you down and we'll get you set up with locations and everything, and a spreadsheet. So if people want to join, there's again links in the description for Discord. Thanks a lot for the follow on Twitch, by the way. I'm thinking people are spread out a little bit. I'm currently in a private group, but I don't know where other people's are. I mean, we don't necessarily have to be in fleets tonight. Oh. I'll hit that rock. No, I'm not. Okay. Steve says he's mined this specific ring as well, and sometimes you would find only... See, because last time I was here, I would get 90% void opals. So there's definitely a time factor playing in as well. Oh, look at that thing there. And I guess the time factor is how many people are mining here. I would if this turns out to actually work the way I think it will. See, this one's just not... Or is it? Oh, no, it is. If this turns out, we can pretty much expect there's going to be a lot of people coming this way in the near future. Which probably means that the number of core deposits will begin to decrease quite significantly. Justice, if you want to contribute with data for the little science project here, I would prefer if you do it in this specific ring. Oh, that one, black and green. Because then we are sure that there's no other factors. As we talked about, the rings, they change over time. So since we're all doing it at the same time in the same ring, then we're eliminating a lot of the uncertainties. You can see the system name on the planet here. It is in G space 181-6, and it's planet A1, and we're currently in the ice ring, of course. You can use EDSM to look at traffic in the area. Granadite is going into the negative lists. Oh, landing gear. So the whole trick again is that with everybody being in the same ring at the same time, we eliminate that time factor and we eliminate the fact that different rings can have other unknown factors. The only thing that should change right now between the different people playing is the location. Ah, you're just around the corner. Okay, I'm just gonna quickly check Discord if we have more people we need to drag in. Not at the moment. When you have data, just let me know and we'll get you set up with the spreadsheet as well, so you have a place to record your findings. Oh, down there. Yeah, I can see fishes on this one. And it is not void opals. I don't know how you guys are doing. So far I have 14 that's not void opals and 1 that was.
I've had one that isn't.
Oh, say that again?
I've had one that isn't. I got an Alexandrite core, and then I just got a void opal corner.
Okay.
And I got another 3 really bright ones next to me as well.
I've had 3 void opal, 1 low temp diamonds.
I've had 1 void opal out of 1.
1 and 1.
I'm at 2-2.
I'm at 4 and
2
1.
void opal, 3 non.
Four and 1 for me.
4 void opals and 1 non-void opal?
Correct.
Oh, that's pretty good. You're in a double?
Nope.
No? Where are you? Single?
Yep. I came in from the side to make sure I was only in one ring.
Yeah.
So there was no overlap.
And I'm part of the control outside of all hotspots, and somehow I got 3 void opals and 2 nons, so...
Okay. Well, it might end up that this actually turns out that the effect is maybe so small that we can't really measure it even with 2 hours of mining and this many people.
sounding more like go outside the hotspot. You have just a larger number of deep core.
Yeah, but that's gonna be. I mean, I'm gonna do the preliminary result or like data analysis right when we are done here tonight. But I'll probably spend some more time trying to dig into it and see how many void opals people found in the different areas as well. See if we can get any kind of information out of that. But that's a little bit more difficult because it can also depend on how good people are at spotting them. So we might have someone who's really good at spotting them running in one of the lower ones and would naturally spot a lot more. But if you have people who are not that experienced in mining, so there's some built-in noise there. Oh, lump trip diamonds. Joachim, hello and welcome. Nice to catch a live stream. 3 jumps from Beagle Point. See, that is not just around the corner.
Wow.
That is pretty much as far away from just around the corner as you can be. Just arrived in the system. Okay. We just quickly get you set up with the spreadsheet here. I'm just gonna show the people on the live stream so you can see. I'm gonna fill in my data here as well. So this is the spreadsheet. This is the way we're working. I haven't filled in mine, but you can see everybody puts in their names, their commander names. And then if they're outside a hotspot, like I am, you put in a 0. If you're in one hotspot, that's only an area that's only overlapped by one hotspot, then you put a 1. And if you're on a double, you put a 2 in here. And then you can see people are slowly beginning to record their data. I'm just going to make a fresh line here of my piece of paper, and then I'm going to record the data I have so far. I've managed to find 1 void opal, and I've managed to find 14 non-void opals. And then later on we'll begin to filter it by location, and we'll see what kind of information we get. I'll post this on Discord in case people are interested. You can just get you guys back in game like that. And then I'll post the link in the voice. We have people here, you can see, dragging you guys down. Hello and welcome. I'm just gonna post the link again in voice chat, just above all the talking channels, where you can go and have a look at that thing there. Okay, and I made a line so I can now start my next session here. Don't see anything on this one. Fleming, you can post the link, then I will just it will probably get caught in the filter to start with, but I will just approve it. I'd like to see that. Thanks for the host. I am flying a Clipper, Imperial Clipper. Oh, Oh, yeah, that's one. Hello and good evening. And this is Alexandrite, so this goes as not void opals. Thank you. It's always nice to have. The more people we are, the more data we can get, the better result we're hopefully gonna get at the end. Luis asked, what are we looking for? We're a lot of people running around the same ring trying to find void opals, just in different areas to see what effect hotspot has on the type of materials in core deposits.
2 out of 3 void opals.
Oh yeah, I spotted one. Hey, I got void opals. Which side was it? This one, I think. Ah, come on. Almost got it. There we go. Oh, look at that. Ah, come on. Now that's the joy of flying in a in an engineered ship. I don't really care about the asteroids when they blow up. They don't really hurt me. Can't even remember what shields I put on this thing. Just a normal 4A shield generator. But knowing me, it's probably, yeah, reinforced high cap. So that's a decent decent shield info on this one. Let's go and check a look at that. It's actually only 5,000 shield or 500 shield, which is like okay, but moved out of line of sight. We go. Oh, did I miss that one? Finally. Yes, I am in the bubble. In case people are wondering where we are. Hold on, got all my dials set wrong here. Hold on. There we go. We are in the G181-6 system. Okay, some people said they've already tried it. At the very least, then we're gonna get a second set of data for this, just to make absolutely sure. Oh, something over there. Is there anything else in that general direction? No. Phil asks, just watch your review on the X56, still using, attempted to buy. It's still here, and it's still being used, obviously. The software, I would say, has the main complaint I have about the X56 is the software is, well, calling it bad is an overstatement. It's not very good. It works, but that's about it. I've had situations where the joystick works better if you uninstall the software than when you have it installed. So sometimes it will run better on the native drivers. You will still get ghost presses if you don't run it off a set of USB ports with enough that can supply it with enough power. So it has some issues. It definitely has some issues. And for the price tag, I still think those issues is something they should have resolved, especially this far down the line. But in some cases, you can get away with just using a powered USB hub that needs to be not just needs to be a powered 3.0 or at least 3.1 maybe. I can't remember how high. They should be able to supply it with plenty of power to keep this thing running. It might even help actually if you turn on some of the LEDs on it. I don't know if that's what's pulling all the power. Silver Dragon should be watching way too many live streams. We forgot this is an actual live stream. Is that a fissure? I think it is. Yeah, it is. And not a... Wonderful. So I don't know. I mean, if I were to buy a new one today, I would be very tempted to go back to the X52 Pro, which was my first real HOTAS. I absolutely loved that thing, and I used that until the buttons were physically worn out from clicking them too much. Which happened after about, I would say, a little over 1,000 hours of gameplay. Which, to be honest, is not a lot, but... Yeah, technically I don't know, because I actually bought that one second hand, so I can't actually tell how many hours of gameplay was on it, because I don't know how much it was used before. But the X56 is a good joystick. But if I were to upgrade to everyone, I've actually been looking at it lately, if I should upgrade to something else. There are beginning to be a lot of really, really good throttle units out there. And getting a good throttle unit is definitely very doable. What I'm having a hard time finding is, surprisingly enough, a good stick. A stick that I really like. Because I like having what many people refer to as a brake lever, the small pinky lever here. I really like having that as a secondary trigger. And I also really like having twists in the joystick, so that leaves out the Warthog. I know Virpil, they has one stick that has twist, but that doesn't have the pinky lever. The pinky switch. It has actually not even a button. And the joystick they do have, that does have the pinky buttons and the small lever down there, that doesn't include twist. So then I was looking at some, what's the name, VBK, VKB, something like that. And they have one that looks pretty good. I don't know. I'm just having a hard time finding a... Because I really like to get to not having to use pedals. Not that there's anything wrong with pedals, but... thanks for the follows on Twitch. Alexandrite goes on the non-void opal list. Not that there's anything wrong with pedals, but I have... It's actually quite fun. I have my old chair. Has been disassembled. So I took the armrests and the back off my old chair, and it's sitting down here underneath my my table. So sometimes when I'm playing games, I can get my feet up, like, nice back and comfortable, and then you can sit and play like that. And especially if I'm playing anything with like a gamepad, like a controller, like that, like just being able to just lean back and get your feet up while you're playing is really nice. So I'm using my old chair for that, and obviously that's not going to work very well if you're using pedals for Elite Dangerous. Love my X52 Pro. Exactly. I think I'm too used to the yawing on the joystick that I couldn't go over to a joystick that doesn't yaw, and it's a surprisingly uncommon feature. There's a lot of really high-end joystick that doesn't include yaw, but I think the thing is because they are building them for the flight sim community, and those guys tend to use pedals rather than the yaw. But for space sims, yaw just makes so much more sense.
Also makes more sense in terms of how much it costs, because adding yaw, there's much less materials used. So rather than adding extra pedals to the system, well set up.
Yeah, exactly. There's that as well. Redfur, are you trying to join? I don't know. You messaged me on Discord. So, 2019. Did you still talk about comfort? You should be comfortable playing games. People are more than welcome to mine the cores if they want to. It's really up to you what you do. I'm just mining the void opals and leaving everything else. Come on, turn off. I can look for... Yeah, there's one.
Third void opals, out of 4.
Thanks for HOTAS chat.
Thank you, Phil, for the €5 donation. It's always fun talking about HOTAS. I love HOTASes. But what are people using out there in terms of HOTAS? Or how many are actually...
X52, not Pro.
Just standard X52, yeah.
Yeah, I have a really old X52.
Yeah, same here.
So lots of X52s. It sounds like.
I'm using a Warthog.
It's
Using
just gotten
Warthog.
real squeaky.
I have a 56.
We have a lot of people on T1600Ms, Thrustmasters, X52s, X52s.
I got about 2,800 hours on a standard X52, and it still feels the same way it felt when I took it out of the box. So
Okay.
I'm happy with it.
Again, as I said, the one I had, I did buy that second hand because it was just after I started playing Elite, and I figured, okay, I didn't really have the money to cash out for a new one, so I found one second hand. So I don't actually know how much use that has. I got about 1,000 hours of gameplay out of it before things were beginning to get worn down.
Yeah, I got mine off of eBay, but it still looked pretty new when it showed up. So it wasn't brand new, but it had not had much use.
No. You can really find some good deals secondhand now that we are talking about HOTAS, because there's a lot of people who will buy them thinking they're really into... That could be Elite, it could be a space, or sorry, a flight sim or something, and then they spend 10, 20, 30 hours in the game and lose interest. And then now they're sitting there with a HOTAS and just sitting there in a cabinet somewhere and collecting dust. If you can find those deals and people just want to get rid of them, then you can make yourself a really good deal getting an almost new one for maybe half the price. But I would still say, if you're looking at what I would consider like a mid-range HOTAS today, like when we're not talking about the Warthog and the Whirlpool gear and that stuff, because that's a whole nother price range than what we're talking about here today, I would definitely recommend the X52. It's a good solid stick. Get the Pro if you can, otherwise get the standard one. I think the only difference between the Pro version and the standard one is, of course, there's the color scheme that's different. Thanks a lot for the subscription on YouTube, Jeff, by the way. But I think also some of the part of the the whole mechanism at the base of the joystick is metal on the Pro version, and this thing is plastic on the non-Pro version. I think that's one of the few differences there is.
And don't use the software.
And don't use the software. Just use the standard Windows drivers and then do all your mapping in Elite rather than try to map through the software. Okay, I don't know what the X52s, what kind of price tag they have on today. Warthog? I don't know. Oh. Actually, the Warthog, X52 software was okay, as I recall it.
I had problems with it. Bizarrely, it only got sorted out when I got a new PC and didn't bother installing this software. Just went with the basic drivers, the Windows drivers.
And it's been working okay, I guess.
Yes, but again, mine's an original side tech stick rather than a log.
Yeah, mine was also before they be bought up by Logitech. Now I remember why I had the software installed. It's because on the X52 there's like a it's not a pinky switch, but there's a button on the throttle, I think, that by default is set it's what's called clutch mode. So it's basically like a modifier, like control. So it doesn't count as a separate key input, but it modifies all the other keys. But if you want to use that as a normal key, then you have to have the software installed to disable clutch mode on it. I think that's the only reason why I actually installed the software. It was to get that button unlocked so we can use it.
Yeah, I think I installed the software later, and I think it broke everything for me. That clutch button working with the software, it worked, but then the pinky trigger wouldn't work.
Ah, wonderful.
Yeah, so the workaround on that is just to go into the control panel, go into your devices, bring up the properties on the joystick on the X52, and just leave it open, and everything works.
Oh, you just leave that panel open?
Yeah, you just leave it open in the background and play the game, and then the pinky trigger will start.
Okay, that's really, really weird. I wonder what different that makes that you open up the control panel.
Yeah, I don't get it either. Other than the fact that you can test the buttons, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Okay, some people are saying you can unlock that button if you open up the property window. Well, at least when I had it a few years ago, I wasn't able to figure out how to do it other than installing the software, but it might be that it either has changed or I just couldn't figure it out back then. From my experience, it's probably the last... Oh, void opals! No, because these things, like the drivers of these kind of things, they don't change. I mean, it seems like it's one of those things, they get them out at launch and then they just leave it there.
See, I've had bad experiences with drivers as well, but mainly for Wacom drivers. What makes them worse is that they continuously update it and then break them.
For what kind of drivers, sorry?
Wacom drivers, you know, graphics tablets?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're a nightmare. It's like they bring out a new driver, you install it, and then nothing works.
Back to square one.
Yep. So you got to remap everything. So sometimes a pen just does not, like the tablet doesn't recognize a pen because it's conductive pens. They don't use batteries.
Mm-hmm.
That was awful. At least they tried to fix it.
Pata says, maybe the pinky trick on the X-52 is Guardian tech. Oh god.
I don't remember too much grind and trying to use it.
You have to fly to Beagle Point in order to unlock it.
I did not fly that much in third person since weeks.
So you have to fly to Beagle Point, and there will be a beacon when you scan it. A 24-hour countdown starts, and you have to scan another beacon that's located next to Hot Orbital. You have to scan it within 24 hours.
But you get 2 free anacondas.
You get 2 free anacondas, fully engineered.
Don't say that to Paroxym.
What was Paroxym? You don't like the anaconda joke?
No, he's stupid enough to fly Mamba to Beagle Point.
I guess when you're... Or to Beagle... Oh yeah, okay. I thought you meant to... I thought you said Hutton. I said, like, flying up there doesn't really matter, but... Wasn't it Paroxym also did the Beagle Point with no life support?
No canopy, yes.
He must be breathing a lot of iron and nickel.
I actually took an adder with 36 light years to Beagle Point 1. No shield. Almost destroyed it twice because I enabled AFM and then drove away in an SRB. Tried to fly up and the thrusters enabled and there was not enough energy. And it just dropped like a rock.
Uh-oh. Did it survive? I assume it did.
Yeah, it was 74% down to 22, but then I had to relog without horizons to actually get into orbit. They even have a video of that somewhere.
I'd certainly salute anyone that takes a Mamba to Beagle Point, because that thing must overheat like a bitch every time you try to refuel.
DKY posted Minotaur version 2.0. Just gonna quickly, where is it? This must be here. Get you guys over. We're gonna have a quick look at the stats at the moment. Should I use this opportunity to actually fill in my data as well again? That means that I'm now up to 3 rocks with void opals, and here I have 5, 6, 7. That gives me 21.
Bloody hell. Your ratio is a lot worse than others. Don't know how you've done that.
It's a skill. It takes a lot of training to miss all the void opals.
I think they're just not. There's just not much of them.
should we try to just quickly do? I'm just gonna do a quick and dirty calculation here, just to see where we actually at in terms of percentage. So hold on, what are we doing here? We're gonna go total mined, view, mined, and percentage. So this one will be that plus that plus that plus that. This one. That one plus that one plus that one. It's going to be that one divided by that one and multiply that by 100. So far the areas outside the hotspots have a 17%, 17.4% void opals. My limpets are dying in the background, that's okay. Let's do these ones as well, now that we just so we can follow along as data are coming in here. So total mined in number ones is that plus that plus that plus that plus that plus that plus that one.
I've got 2 void opals out of 2 from a single ring. I'm not on that spreadsheet.
Okay, just fill it in at some point when you get to it. And this one is equal to the one, which is that one plus 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 that one. I can already say now that the type, the area ones with 1 is a lot better. That one divided by, actually I can just do this. Yeah.
I'm just not finding that many cores. 2 in, what, 40 minutes?
Yeah, but so far the class 1s, there's a 52% chance. I mean, we might about the same number in class 1s. Let's try to take class 2s and see what we get here. Total mined.
But I was interested in was how many cores did everyone find, and was it just the proportion was low?
To start with, I'm just looking at proportions. Then then later on we're gonna dive into it's actually pretty much the same number of cores across the different areas. That's pretty good.
Oh, make that 3 out of 3.
We who are on 1 out of 13 here, did you?
I'm getting 1 every 15 minutes, but it's always a void opal.
Okay, the double ones are a little bit lower now, but they are 10% apart. That could be, I mean, 1 rock is basically, it could be like 5 rockets, sorry, 6 rocks right now is the difference, but they're also slightly less there, so it's maybe, yeah, 5 rocks to the difference right now. So I wouldn't say we have enough data to conclusively say that the overlapping is better than the single ones. But they're not right now, but that we can't say that there's a specific difference with this. We still don't have enough data for that. But I think we can conclusively say that mining outside of a hotspot versus inside is pretty much the same thing. So it's much better. Much better inside than outside.
All right, see you guys next time.
Yeah, I'm gonna mine a little bit more and then see where we end up. Then have everybody hand in their data, and then we're gonna see where we're at. Exactly, we still have a pretty low sample size, so I wouldn't be able to say anything. Oh, that was the pulse wave. There we go. It might very be the mining tool is correct, but I always like to go out and verify these kind of things for myself, because sometimes people, they would base that on like a hunch, or they would just, like, one person have done it over the course of a week and he could have been unlucky or could have been very lucky, we don't know. That's why I want to try and do it for myself. We get the same results, even though we might not have enough data to do something conclusively, but if we got something that's pointing in the same direction as stated, then I would probably be reluctant to believe that that is actually the case. Oh, something in there, hiding between the rocks. Dodgers asked when I'll go to Colonia. It was actually the plan to have left this weekend, but my secondary monitor died on Friday, and that put a very effective stop for that, because I was planning to live stream it, and live streaming with mod monitors, well, I would not call it impossible, but it's gonna be very difficult to monitor chat. Then it would have been something with a second computer, like a laptop, and put that up next to me somewhere. I decided to just postpone the trip, not for long. I'm probably gonna do it either next weekend or sometimes during the week. I do have a lot of projects I want to test out in Elite, but I'm planning to leave at some point this week. Are we far away from a selling point? I think there's a selling point like 20-something light years away, so no, we're pretty close. Exactly, Fleming. Trust is good, and control is better. It was just like, right after the patch came out, people pretty quickly came to the conclusion that that the reserves didn't have any effect on the void, or sorry, the core mining, and I doubt people have had collected enough data at that point, right after the patch came out, to conclusively be able to say that. That must have been based on a hunch or one or two guys testing it out, and especially when you test that out, because the reserves, you have to go into different rings in different systems. There are so many unknowns that affect it that it would have been very difficult for them to eliminate. It seems now that it has been more or less confirmed that that is the case. But just because somebody puts it out and says this is the truth, it doesn't mean that it's necessarily right. And that's why I want to go back and test stuff like this sometimes.
I don't understand how I'm getting so lucky. 5 void opals, 1 non-void opal. The annoying thing is I'm in an aspect, so I can't really take advantage of this that much.
What was it? So you win an asp, or?
Asp's War, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't really have much cargo space.
No.
But
if you're done, I'll post a link for you in. Hold on, give me a second here. Oh, actually, I'll just post a link for you in voice chat, where you can, if I can remember where I put that link. Another link, a system name. I already been into Nara and located a good selling point. Just so in case people want to go and sell, then they didn't have to go and look that up. So I'm just gonna quickly find. I wrote that down somewhere here, I think. Yeah, it's in
Vega?
Wolf. It's in Wolf 497. Wolf 497. Just gonna post it in voice chat in case people need to go and sell stuff and things. Let's get back into the game. Ausglyph, I don't know how that's pronounced, but good morning. Morning, it's like 10:30 here almost. Hey. Oh, this one looks interesting. I can get up. Otherwise, this one then the background. Oh, oops. Didn't want to boost there. Yeah, there's fishes on this one. And not avoidable. I spotted someone else in this, something else in this direction here. That one don't think is anything. Recycler has got killed by Limpet because the refinery was overflowing. Oh, that sucks because that means you must have had a full cargo hold.
This explosion never gets old.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's why that's more of why I'm stopping to mine them than for the money. Just to watch them explode.
No, not popcorn. Oh, this one. That one there. Look at that. Someone has a dog in the background.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. Oi, void opals. Okay, let's get this thing prepped and ready to go. Hi. You know what? I'm gonna be a little risky here and I gotta put a medium in there. Ah, plenty of room still. There's one here. This is a low. Okay. Be careful with that one. Oh, can we manage to capture this in? If you haven't done it already, you should try to watch the rock explode in the third-person camera. Oh, okay. Well, that's a bug. When you watch it in third-person camera, it's all muffled when you hear the thing explode. And apparently when you go back into the ship, then you get the explosion.
I had a weird visual glitch earlier when I first jumped into this system, into this week, where you know when you put a prospect onto an asteroid, it'll come up with all like the fishes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'd done that with one asteroid, and then it was the Alexandrite one that I found, and I flew off, and when I saw another one kind of past that Alexandrite one, but when I was going there, the entire asteroid disappeared, but it still left the floating, like, bits that show the fishes. Just
oh yeah.
Like, it's kind of weird looking.
Oh, cargo hold. Oops. So you could still target and shoot into the fishes?
Basically, it showed the fishes like the white You know what I'm on about.
The
But
subsurface
there was no
deposit.
asteroid.
Yeah.
So they were just like floating textures spinning. And I couldn't target them either. That was them. Because that's something else targeted as well, so they shouldn't have been there in the first place.
Okay.
It's a bit weird.
Well, another bug to the list, I guess.
The most annoying bug for me is sometimes the cockpit is brighter than the sun.
It what, sorry?
The cockpit turns complete white in the Clipper.
Oh yeah, this is super bad. It's
Okay.
actually blinding.
I've never had that. Are you running NVIDIA or AMD cards?
And yeah,
Okay, I'm doing the same.
970.
I was
I
wondering
also
if it was a graphic driver problem. Other people saying they get the blinding cockpit too. That sounds really annoying. Oops. There we go.
Hmm. 4 out of 4.
Not bad.
And it is every 15 minutes.
Okay, let's get this thing going again. Is this one it? No. No. There's a lot of stuff going on down in this area. Let's try to go down there. No. I don't see any. But for good measures, we're just gonna shoot one off. Stuff like this, also really annoying. Hello.
This one looks
No. Was something in this direction as well. Okay, it's up there. Okay, this one looks pretty good. Oh wait, fishes on this one. Hey, void opals. I'm getting lucky now.
Ooh, lost my shields.
And that's right at the axis of rotation, makes it nice and easy. And what else do we have? I have this one here. Low strength. I think if I put a medium charge in that. Yes. And the difference between science and just going around, you make records of it. You write down your results. Let's get the abrasion blaster and begin shooting fragments off.
that was dumb. Really bright asteroid didn't have a core.
Yeah, there are someone else out there that control you a little bit. Oh, cargo hatch. Okay, while we're sitting here and waiting for this to pick up stuff, how many of you did run the treasure hunt? Don't worry, I'm not going to spoil anything. And people in chat, don't spoil things either. There are still, I can see there are still people running it. I had several people making it to the end of today as well. Any results of the bug? I must admit I haven't tried out the wing mining bug, or tried it out. I haven't seen if that's still a thing. I think I recall saying that they fixed it at some point, but I haven't actually verified it. Why are all my limpets dying? Let's go and have a look. Let's chase that limpet. I don't know where Amsterdam is tonight. was online on Discord earlier, but seems to have been AFK, and then he left. By the way, good evening, McQuire. Let me just quickly check Discord if everything is good over here. Looks great.
I'm happy I got my 6th core Void Opus.
Oh, I'm only up to 5 right now.
I just passed 110 tons collected.
That's pretty good. You only been mining void opals?
Yep.
That's pretty good. Where are you at? What kind of area?
1 ring.
1 ring, okay. Yeah, because I'm outside the hotspots and I'm up to getting pretty close to 69, so probably 70 when these last few fragments come in.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious. You could tell the people that are, just by looking at the numbers, you could see the big difference in the people that are in.
Yeah.
6 void opals. Oh.
With one exception. Commander, it's not Commander Buxton's night. He's got 21, 4 void opals, and he's in a double hotspot area.
Where's Noxton at? Hold on, let me get the rest of the stream over here so they can see the data as well. Noxton.
Buxton, he's line 13.
Ah, Buxton, yes.
Oh, yeah.
He's having a rough night.
Yeah. That is at a hotspot.
I'm usually not that lucky with
Yeah, if you compare, we both have 21 without anything in. I have had, at the time when I recorded last, I had 3 void opals, and you had 4. It's funny how double seems to be a little lower than everything else. Alright, let's get back into game. Get myself over there. Oh, a good trick, by the way, if you don't know, when you've been blowing up an asteroid, stay inside the cloud when you fire off the pulse wave, because the rocks that are scannable will show up so much brighter, or not brighter, they're so much easier to see, because it seems like that effect just like burns through the cloud.
Yeah.
They become very
orange and red.
Yeah, the orange and red colors go straight through the cloud, where all the other asteroids kind of get like muffled out because of the PR process. People ask how they can join to Discord. I think we have not that much time left before we leave, but there is a link in the description where you can join Discord, and there will most likely be other open live streams in the future. Next time I'll try to find something a little bit more action-packed than mining. But I'm trying to host these with like some intervals.
What could possibly be more exciting than mining?
I mean, if you ask me, I'm having a blast.
Mining is good.
No pun intended.
It's fun to do, but
I
to
agree.
watch is not the same. That makes sense.
Yeah, I'm not a big combat guy.
No, it doesn't have to. You don't have to do combat to have fun. I mean, I think one of the most hilarious live streams we've had was the driving up the side of a canyon in the SRV racing thing. I just grabbed that avoidable. And where we ended up building a bridge out of ships to try and drive an SRV across the canyon by jumping from ship to ship. Okay. What was that? Do I want to know? Oh, it hits. Nice. Do you guys get that bug where a fissure will show up as having line of sight, and then when you target it, it's on the other side?
Yes.
That's annoying. And should have anything like that one there. Oh, okay. Well, a little bit on the high side with that one, but probably okay. Tons of bugs in mining. It's not that bad. 15 fragments, that's pretty good. Ah. Moved out of my line of sight. That one should still be targetable. Greetings from Argentina. Hello. You're very welcome. Says that a lot of the stuff you learned about Elite learned from me. You're very, very welcome. That's why I make the videos, to help people progress in an otherwise a difficult game. Yeah, maybe. At least it doesn't hold your hand.
Hold you by the throat.
Yeah. Over the edge of a cliff, and then you say, here's a 2-page quick guide. Read it quick. I'm letting go in 10 seconds, and I hope you've learned to fly by then. Ah, come on. See, this is why I never should be a PvPer and use any kind of fixed weapons. I can't even hit a stationary target.
Will this help me getting more void opal cores?
Thanks for the donation, Reaction Craft. I don't think I have that kind of influence with RNGs, but thanks for the donation anyway. Do we have more stuff to shoot? No, it's just stuff that needs to be picked up now. Okay, we have, what time is it? We have about 10 minutes left. So if you guys would finish up the rocks that you have right now, and then record your data in the spreadsheet, then in about 10 minutes we'll do a quick recap of what we've learned so far, and see if we manage to confirm or deny my hypothesis. So did I just say RNGs? Yes, I did. That's the thing. Thanks for the subscription on YouTube. And of course that thing died. Where is it? Is that... Oh, there it is. Watch that thing kill itself. Yep. And the next one. See, now the thing floated inside the rock. Wonderful. It is now inside the rock itself. So we're not gonna get that one out. Yeah. Yeah, the fact that the fragments clip into rocks is so annoying because... See, look at that collector. Poor collector a little bit. I'm just roaming around on the surface trying to get into it. Oh, it's coming up here. There it is. Ah, good little limpet. Okay. Oops. What am I stuck on? Okay, I'll be heading over to the wolf something system.
Wolf what?
There's a system called Wolf 497 that, at least according to Anara, should buy void opals at 1.64, 1.65 million. And it's only 29.5 light years away, so it should be 1 or 2 jumps depending on your jump range.
Okay, come over and sell my void opal.
In case people want to make a little bit of credits. What we're going to uncover is if overlapping hotspot has anything to do, have any effect on the outcome of how many materials you get of that type that the hotspot is. Okay. No, let's wait until I've docked. Yeah, you guys can call me Dave. That's completely fine.
$71 void opals in my cargo bay.
Not bad. People asking about ships for core mining. People like pythons. I personally, yeah, as you can probably see, I prefer the Clipper. I think it's a great ship, but that's because I like the straight line speed that you get.
And the maneuverability there.
Yes, that too.
The only reason I have an Aspects is because I built this when the Abrasion Blaster glitch was a thing.
Yeah.
So I've still got 5 Abrasion Blasters on it.
Okay, I have a question for you guys, because I recently did a video where I compared like every single major release for Elite Dangerous since launch up till today. And someone mentioned in the comment section that I forgot to mention the what's it called, Oreo map, like the where you can actually see the whole system. And I just realized I haven't used that since it was introduced. Have any of you guys used that map?
Yeah, I used it a couple of times.
A couple of times?
To be honest.
Yeah, if I'm gonna map a few planets, I'll generally have a look at it.
Okay. It might be because I haven't really got out exploring, and it might be useful for explorers, I don't know, but I just never use it.
I used it to determine when the planets will collide. There's a system where planets just hit each other in once in 16 days, and you can see it very good from the from that view.
Okay. People asking about the map, where it is. I think if I can recall where it is, if you go in here, so the system map, and you don't mess up your dials. Oh, I'm getting interdicted. Hold on.
Do you know what station it is in this system that sells it?
Yeah.
Buffet.
Buffet. Yeah.
Buffet Vista. Okay.
It should be, at least according to Inaura. I haven't actually verified it, but
I'll let you know now.
Or if anybody doesn't care about the credits, they could always go to one of the Terra X
true that.
loan stations.
We actually talked to Crypto and Running Ghost about the potential of using mining as a way of gaining influence, but I think the problem is we would have this. It seems, at least the theory at the moment is that there's both a credit per ton, a total credit, and a number of material limit that all has to be fulfilled before it counts as a transaction.
Yeah.
The credits per
Empire for an interdictor.
the credits per ton should not be an issue.
Right, but it's the number of materials that you sell.
Yeah.
And the number of tons of each material that you sell.
Yeah, and
to get the maximum influence out of it.
And I think I heard somewhere people said 40 tons in one transaction before to create a transaction. It sounds a little high, but I'm not 100% sure about it.
Yeah, I think it's 40 tons per material, or per trade good, whether it's a mine material or something, just straight trading, will produce 1 BGS influence point. So the idea is to, if possible, get a cutter or something like that, fill it up with 40 tons of 4 or 5 different materials, and take it in. And minimum profit I think is only like 7,500, so it doesn't have to be something that's worth a lot of money.
No, you can just get something cheap.
Yeah,
But
it does have to turn a profit, but
the-
it doesn't have to turn a lot of profit.
But the point is, core mining at least wouldn't be the most effective way to gain influence doing that.
No.
Maybe going into doing the double hotspot painite mining would be a better choice, because you generate a lot more ton per hour, and you're still way above that threshold anyway.
Yeah, but you're only selling one material. That's the kicker. So even if you go in there and you sell 100 tons or 200 tons of painite, I believe you're still only going to get 1 point of influence.
Exactly, still only one transaction.
Right.
So you're better off just collecting all the cores you get, grinditerate and all of that stuff.
Yeah, if you wanted to
do it for BGS.
Yeah, if you were core mining for BGS, it would just be get all the cores regardless of what it is, and just sell it, because they should all be above the price limit.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a real team-based environment that we've got going on with Terra X. So if anybody's into that, hop on the Discord.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if any of you are curious about trying BGS, if it's something for you, then you can definitely hop over on Discord. They have a pretty good system set over here where there being daily orders posted. You can go and you can follow if you have a few extra hours, and then you will help our in-game faction progress and take over the galaxy, or something along those lines.
Yeah, it's not something where if anybody's thinking, well, I don't understand how it works, you don't have to.
No.
They post what needs to happen at what stations. Run missions for this station, or do bounty hunting and cash in your bounties at a particular station. It's really simple.
That being said, though, if you are interested in learning how the whole BGS works, I mean, we have quite a few quite knowledgeable people about this, and I'm pretty sure that many of them they will talk lengths about it if you ask, because there are some people over here that are very passionate about BGS. So, and it can be fun. I mean, we do it sometimes when we do open live streams, take out the eagles and. How do you learn about BGS? The best way to do it is talk to someone who's good at it. As I said, we have some good people over here who really knows the inner workings, because a lot of this stuff is obviously Frontier don't tell us how it works, so a lot of it is just us trying and guessing, and sometimes we guess right, or sometimes we have something that seems to be right, but then other times something we can't explain happens, and it just adds to all the fun. Okay, I'm gonna sell.
Oh, Buxton made a mistake with his the spreadsheet, so he's fixed it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a little bit more manageable as well.
Yeah. I was gonna say, because I'm in the same kind of zone, and I was finding it quite easy to find road opals, and his was the drastic opposite of it. So.
Okay, I'm just gonna quickly sell my void opals, and if people are gonna type in their results, then that would be great. It's actually 1.66 million we're getting for it here.
Oh wait. Is there a way to see past transactions? Because I just sold mine and didn't realize.
Yes, there is. If you go over to your home tab and you go into the codex, and then you go to commander, and then you go to session log, then you should be able to see it in there. No, maybe not. You used to. Okay.
I thought it would be in the session log.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't know why they're not putting it in there.
Because it says I did ship maintenance. Why would it not say I sold a bunch of void opals for 137?
Pocket change.
Oh, that ship cost, that was really expensive. It cost you £4,000.
Oh wow! Oh yeah, yours. I mean, I purchased ammunition for 2,100 credits. I mean,
But that void opals.
I mean, I'm not sure I can make this thing as a profitable business. Okay, I'm just gonna record the last of my data. I had a pretty good run here at the end. So I got 3 extra that pushed me up to, let me get you guys over here so you can watch it as well. Put me up to 6, oops, not 36, 6 there, and I got 1 extra here to 22. Okay, so after Buxton corrected his input, it looks like that the double one gave a slight increase. Not sure if this is enough to actually verify that there is a difference between the two.
We need to do it one time more next week.
No, I have other plans next week for the live stream. But I think, okay, so one thing I can definitely say as a conclusion is that that hotspot does have an effect. Because we're going from 21.5% or 21.6% up to 33.4%. Which is more than doubling what we get. It's like 2.5 times. So there's definitely an increase there. Now the difference between the number 1 and number 2, not so sure if that's enough to make
a margin of error.
Yeah, I would have to actually calculate the error margins to see what are the chances that we are measuring the same thing. I would probably have to like put this into like a T-student test or whatever it's called, student T-test I think it is, and see if I can get a probability out to see what are the chances that we are measuring the same thing here. Based on the numbers, I would say that it's probably pretty high. There may be a very small increase from the 2 rings. I mean, I don't know how exactly this is calculated, because if you drop into a hotspot, it clearly gives you more of that material than you would otherwise get. But we also know that a hotspot can be depleted, that you not completely depleted, but they can be mined out. So do you only get less cores, or is the ratio of what you get still the same? That's what I'm interested in. I'll have to dig into this a lot more, but oh, hold on, just a quick question here over on Twitch. So how did the first people learn the BGS? The normal way people do it is they find like a back-end system where there's no activity, and then they do very minute changes, like they run a very specific set of missions, and then because it's an area where there's pretty much no one else, they just assume they were the only one doing changes, and then they wait a tick, and then they see what changes happen to the BGS based on those few actions they did. And then they can begin to slowly learn how different actions affect the BGS, and then you begin to put that into a bigger and bigger picture. Alright, let's jump back into game here. I think that that pretty much concludes the stream for today. I'm trying to stop pretty sharp because I have some other things I need to do tonight before I go to bed. But thanks a lot to all you guys who've been joining today. I hope you enjoyed it and made a few credits in the process. I think most of you guys got a decent number of void opals. I think even the one with the lowest number should still have around 30 tons of void opals, which should still yield a pretty penny. But thanks a lot for joining, guys. I'll be dragging all you guys up to the lobby as soon as the live stream is over, and I hope you'll be hanging out for a bit. I'm gonna mute Discord and say goodbye to the live stream. So yeah, thanks a lot for joining.
Welcome.
Okay, let's jump over to that scene there. So that concludes the live stream today. Again, I'm not 100% sure. I need to do a little bit more statistics on the actual numbers here to be absolutely sure that that what we're seeing is in fact the same as the mining tool got, that there's no difference between 1 and 2. It can, I'm not 100% sure. I'll need to do a little bit more digging into it. But if it turns out that I come anything interesting out of my little research project here, I'll probably do a video on it. If not, then it was always nice to go out and do a little bit of mining, just for fun. What else? Yeah, if you liked the stream today, go down, give it a like down below, and if you haven't subscribed already, there's also a subscribe button for that in below the channel. If you're following the stream over on Twitch, there's a follow button you can click over there as well. And what else? Yeah, of course, if you want to join future live streams, there are a link for Discord, and they'll be posted in the news channel over there when new open live streams are coming out. Live stream next week is same time, and next week I will be running the treasure hunt that I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen. On Friday I posted a little treasure hunt for you guys to go out and solve some codes and hidden messages and stuff like that. And on the live stream next week, I'm going to run through that. So those of you who either didn't want to run it or couldn't complete it completely, I'll be running it then, so I'll show you how you get through it, and also talk about some of the thoughts behind it and why I chose to do it the way I did. But yeah, that's all going to be next week, and I think all that's left is, of course, you want to join. Oh yeah, thank you to all you guys who donated today, and if you want to further support the channel, there's a link for Patreon where you can go and do that, and there's also a link for the merch store where you can get t-shirts and hoodies and mugs and tote bags and all that kind of stuff. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed the stream, and until next time, I'll see you guys in space.